Hello everybody, it is Ushi again, once back again on another how to play Fate Domination video. And today we're going to be using Rider Ozymandias. Ozzy is actually a pretty complicated messed servant. Why did I say fucking master? Pretty complicated servant, and overall I don't think he's that good. I'm not the biggest fan of playing him, but I genuinely think he's a lot better than what people actually think, including myself. So we're gonna go straight into his skills, but first of all, we'll go in through his deck. His deck is very split deck with 2 lucks and preparation, and 4 strength cards, 2 agility cards, and 3 magic cards. Overall, a pretty good deck. As you can see, there's a lot of 4 and 5s, meaning he probably won't have Rider class. And with that, you're correct. He has Abdel Elhol Sphinx, Dedra Electrical Bulb, and the Temple. I'm just going to call it Temple because I cannot pronounce that for the life of me. Now, the first thing I'm going to do to help care Sim's sanity is, Alright, here we go. And this is how we explain it. Set up Shinx first. The way you want to play Ozzy is basically you're wanting to be an interrupter with Temple, but you're wanting to win fights and show yourself as a bigger threat in your Temple. What Temple does is basically you can pay 6 mana to attach it to your location. That can be Magic Workshop. That could be literally anywhere in the map, by the way. Mainly you want to do it on a battlefield, and then you're wanting to fight on the other battlefield when you're wanting to use Bulb, but we'll go into that. Or you want to fight in your own temple when you're more confident in not using Bulb. Basically, you pay 6 mana, it's on the battlefield, and you basically increase the opponent's Noble Phantasms and special cards by 3 mana. Basically, that makes it a lot more expensive. Basically, stuff like Excalibur Galatine will be 12 mana, so it stops a lot of combos that other servants want to do. And it's a pretty good interrupter, considering it never will go off until you use one of your other skills. My biggest advice I can give with Ozzy is kind of weak, in my opinion. But there's definitely ways you can play Ozzy to make him a pretty decent servant. Sphinx is one of the main ones. It's a Strength Magic Noble Phantasm that's 4 mana, 4 power, that's a permanent. The only time it goes down is basically when you lose a fight. So basically, you're wanting to set up Sphinx in your workshop, and basically it will remain in play until you lose a fight. Basically, you mean up a permanent 4 power whenever you're fighting. Also, when you do on the battlefield, whenever people enter your battlefield, they will instantly lose 1 mana, stopping combos, etc. by that. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. That's how it kind of works. Basically, my biggest advice would be set up Sphinx. And then when you're confident going on a battlefield, you play your cards, and then you use Tentris on here. Or in Shinto, where you can use this as a setup, and then you can use 2 face cards, so you can have a decent amount of power if you play your 5 quick. Let's say it's a strength field, right? You play your 5 strength and 4 strength, you've got 3 strength cards getting really nice, very nice combos, and very nice overall power. His last skill, that is Electric Bulb, is a 0 mana 8 power card. That looks very strong on paper until you realize its effects. This will be deactivated if you do not control Temple at another location. And after the end of that turn, Temple will go back onto your battlefield. So it's pretty much a 6 mana 8 power. But please note that this is a 0-8 in addition to your attack. Meaning that if you've been winning fights and you go into a setup fight, where this is in Miyama, you go into a high VP objective in Shinto, you can have both of these up while playing, let's say, a Luck and a Magic 5. This is a very strong and oppressive power combo that helps you also win fights and win VP. Also remember, when you're Sphinx, if you deploy early and people go into you or move to you, they also lose mana. Obviously 1 mana is not the biggest thing, but it's actually very, very nice considering, it stops a lot of combos, and if people are at 8 mana, they have to think about going to you, and they may have to use more resources that equals less power. Or less overall power. Overall, I would biggest recommendation is set up Sphinx first, then go with Temple. If you feel like you can win with Temple with Sphinx up, go in the +3, use your cards, people have to pay more stuff, and when you want to win a big fight on another battlefield, this is where you use Bulb with his permanent up, basically, and you basically just be an interrupter while being able to get some pretty high power and some pretty decent fights, and you can just overall shear people. Is Ozzy a good servant? I think on paper he looks very decent, but overall I don't rate him the highest. Though a lot of people don't know how to play him properly, so remember the number 1 rule would be set up Sphinx first, and overall, that's how you play Ozzy. Set up Sphinx, set up Temple, keep winning fights or not losing fights so you can keep Sphinx. And basically, that's how you play him. And then you do this on big rounds where you want to win. One last thing I will quickly bring up, as I kind of forgot to bring it up, is that when you're in Temple, nobody can enter or leave in action phase. Basically, people can still deploy there, but people can't move into there. So if you're last in turn order, and let's say you're in Shinto, right? You're first in turn order, and there's nobody here. Do not be afraid to set up Temple then. Most of the time I would recommend Sphinx, but if you can guarantee VP and Shinto that round, and it's a decent VP objective, go ahead and use Temple, man. And then you can maybe even CS for Sphinx. Or remember, if you're on 10 mana, another big thing that people forget is you can go like this. You're unrevealed, you haven't played your skills. You're on 10 mana, you can play this, Sphinx, and then you can use the passive action on this to spend the rest of your mana to set this up. Nobody can come into your battlefield other than very specific servants like Ushiwakamaru, Canis, or maybe Ishtar, but they are very, very few and narrow exceptions. If they're in your game, unfortunate. Hopefully you'll find that out the sooner the better. Ushiwakamaru is a lot less likely considering she is the same class though. And that's how you play Aussie. I hope you quickly enjoyed this video. If you've got any more recommendations on who I should do next, please leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and share the video if you can. And possibly we might see you in the VC Bron next. Thank you very much.